Hi friends, we'll learn how to collect and handle data from a HTML form using PHP. The first part will be we'll be reading the data what the user has entered in PHP, and in the second part we'll validate the data. So we ask for the user to enter the email ID. In place of email ID he has entered something else, or both the passwords are matching to each other or not, or in the name field or any user ID field any special character is entered. We'll check all those data. Now once the data is passed or cleared, then we'll process the data. We must push it to a MySQL database, or we may, if it is a login form, we'll validate with, we'll check with the password with the our database and create the session ID for that. Now if the validation fails, then we'll accordingly will show the message telling him that your passwords are not matching or your user ID is not available. All those stuff we'll show it. We'll see how to handle this in PHP. This is our HTML form where the user is asked to enter the user ID, the password, then re-enter the password, email, then name, and gender. One option has to select and check the check button and submit it. So sign up. Now this basic HTML part we have already discussed in our HTML section, and individual components and all the components put together we have designed one form, and that part you can see that the link is in the description, or here you can see the link to that. Now once the user submit this, click this sign up form, because nothing was entered, so we'll present with all the error messages. Now the user can, based on the what he has entered and what he has not entered, the error message will vary. So user can retry and resubmit it. As we discussed, we will divide this into 4 parts. So part one is collection of data, or what are the user has entered. We'll just put it a comment area. In this we'll write. Now part 2 will validate it. You can write your own comment, and in the part 3 we will process it if validation is true. Process, and we'll go to part 4. We'll write each part here. Part 4 message, if validation is failed, or failure message, you can fail message you can give there. So whatever is, now we'll start with part 1 here. So first we'll write our user ID. Will collect one of the input field is user ID, you can see here. So we'll say, because the form is post method, so we'll write it, we'll collect the user ID like this. Now this is how the user ID will get it. Now we'll copy this code, paste it. Now next component or the next data whatever you will collect is password. So this is the password field, the second field. You can see what I am collecting here. Now after password there is one more, twice the password is to be entered, the second password 2 that is. So I have given that there. Now the third one is agree, whether he has clicked the agree button or not. We'll check it here, so we'll take it to agree. So now for our practice purpose we have kept one hidden field also. It's a to do, means what the form will do. You can omit this, but it is a hidden field. We want to understand also how the hidden field data is taken. So this is not a user enter, this is directly embedded in the form, so the data is already present there. Now next is our email. So we'll say email, we'll receive the what the user has entered the email there. So we'll write it here, email. Fine. After email, the name, the what the user has entered as name here. So we'll say name field, name equal to, now we are collecting the name. One more is left, we will collect gender. So what the user has selected, this is a radio button we have given, gender. Now here we'll say, before we finish the part 1, let's see what you have collected and what the user has entered is this exactly what you are, or any mistake done in the variable. What you can do, we can just print the data here. So we'll say user ID. Now then one of the password will say, we can see this output also. This line you can comment it subsequently. Password 2. Now then it is agree, what we are getting for agree, then to do what, that is a hidden field, we are collecting it one for our practice. Now there is a email, now there is a name and gender. I will end this one. So fine, this that's all. I am saving this let's this my form. So user ID here, I'm just entering some sample data, testing. Now I intentionally written something more, so I just want to produce it. Now email @example.com, fine. Now name is my name here. Now I have selected, let's select female, agreed. Now let's sign up. You can see user ID or testing, email, yes, then post. This post is our hidden field, or that to do field. Now that email, my name, here female, whatever data we have entered, now it is available. Now we'll move for validation. We'll start our validation now. In this, first thing we'll do is we'll create one flag here. So this flag will be using, I am commenting it, set the flag. Now this flag, every time we'll check this flag, any of the validation fails, we'll set this flag to not okay, and at the end we'll check it. So along with the flag, we'll also set one message. So this is the message based on particularly which one is going wrong, or what the failure message. This will to guide the user to correct it. So this is blank. Now let's start with checking the user ID part. So now let us just see is set. This is a function will check the variable. So whether is set variable is set or not. Now is set is user ID, or strlen. This is the length of the, it will count how many characters are used in that variable. So user ID is less than 3. You can increase it. Now what you will do here, we are taking it, this will say if it is not set, any one of the thing, if it is not set or length is less than 3, this any one of the conditions. So we have given here or. In that case, what will happen is, now we'll set it if this is the condition, then let's inside the if we are first we'll say is, if this is the condition, then status is equal to, we'll say not okay. Now you have understood what is the purpose of the flag. Now the flag is set to not okay. Now we'll give the message also, message equal to, now this message again dot, because we'll be adding other messages also. It is not that the user ID the only thing which is not correct. So we'll say check your user ID length minimum. You can give length equal to 3. You can give whatever message you want to give, but at the end we'll give a line break, because next message also will be adding to it, so that gives a better visibility to the user. Now user ID we have checked. Now user ID checking is not over, because we don't want that people to use special characters there. So there is a function C type all number, so that we will use it. So for that checking, we'll again say we'll say C type all name, we'll say we'll checking user ID. Now this will return true if all these things are there, but we want to generate a error means failure message. So we'll say it's not, means if the user ID contains any special character, if it is alpha num means alphabet and numbers are only allowed. If it anything other than that is there, then this not will, because of this not, it will become true. So we'll write the same thing here. I'll just copy this and keeping it here. Status is not okay. Now check user ID, special cars. You can write special cars are not allowed. Okay, you can write anything whatever you want. This is a specific message. So now the user knows that what he has entered is he has to be corrected. So these two are fine. Now what we can do is, for a better understanding, with this part also, with these two things also, we can check our form, and subsequently we'll add up the other things. So we'll go to part 3. In part 3, what you are telling is, if now what you are doing is, if status equal to okay, now that means validation is cleared. Means any these two things failed, the status value will become not okay. Now here we'll say process started, validation passed. Now what happened here, we'll inserting to database, all the stuff will keep it in this and we'll see it later. So now we are just understanding the structure of it. Else, now this else actually should go in part 4, fill message. So what we will do, we'll just delete this and put it here. This is our part 4. Else what we'll say, echo. Now you just see the message is carrying all the failure messages, so we only have to display it. But we'll say font color equal to red. I'm just making it a failure, this one, so I'll say message. Now font, I'm closing this. Here also I missed. Fine. So that's all. Now user ID part checking can be done with this much. Let's see how our code works. Save this. Let's go here. Okay, this is where we left. Now let's remove. Okay, we can go here also. User ID part, there is a space, we have kept it. Let's see what happens. Okay, all those, that we have to check. User ID special cars not allowed, that is there, but these things are coming because we are not commented that line, whatever we have tested just before. See this line, we'll comment this line, we don't want this line to be there. Now let's see, let me save this, go here, now come back here again. Now I will see both the things. I will just enter one A only. Now this will validate two things, it will less than 3 and special character. Let me just enter one hash here. So let's just see what it is. You see, check user ID, minimum length equal to 3. Check user ID, special cars are not allowed. So that is the reason. Now let me just remove the special car from here. So I am doing one wrong thing only. So now I should say we'll add one back button to our. Now we'll add further validation. -1 means we'll go back if validation has failed. That's why within this part 4 we have added one back button. So this will on click history go -1. So user can further retry it. So let's add few more. So next thing whatever we'll do is we'll go for password. If strlen, now what you are checking is length of the password. If password is less than 3, so fine, that's all. So in that case we will give appropriate message to that. We will copy this part and pasting it here, and we are telling password minimum length is 3. You can change the length or whatever way you want, you can do it. You can make it minimum 6, suppose. You can change the both the here checkings, you should be 6 and okay. Password, now length we have checked. Now we'll go little more from here. We want that both the passwords should be equal. So you know that we have asking the user to enter password twice. So what you will say here, we'll say instead of length, we'll say directly we'll check the both the passwords. So password not equal to password 2. The second one is password 2. Now if they are not equal, both passwords are not matching. So that's the password checking is over. If you want any restriction in special cars, all those things, we'll add it further. That's will make it more practical. Okay, now password is over. Now let's see, there is a agree condition. Users must agree. So we'll say if agree, it's a checkbox. So we know that checkbox, when it is checked, it will carry the value. So value is yes here. If agree is not equal to yes, that means user has not checked the this particular button. So we'll paste, sorry, not this, we'll paste, we'll copy up to this, and agree will say that must check the agree button or anything you want, must claim, you must agree to our terms and condition, etc. So where from one more extra button has come, this I think we have to remove. Okay, otherwise we'll get error at the end. Fine, so agree is over. Now let me just save this, check up to this point. Now password part so we have done it. So what I will do now, I am A B C D. Now here I am telling A B C D 1. So I must get here I will check this also. special cars are not allowed. Both user ID, okay, check user ID, minimum length is thick. Special cars are, both passwords are not matching. Okay, fine. And before that I will uncomment this, whatever I was for testing purposes I kept it. Sorry, I should comment it. Now password part is working. Now let me add a email validation. Now what I will say, there is a filter available, I'll use that. There are different way of validating the email. So you can, regular expression you can use. If filter var, now in this I will give my email is here, it is email. Now the constant I will say filter, now validate email. Now this is available, this will tell me true if it is validate, because because if it is validate then it will return me true, so I don't want that case. I want if it failed to validate, so I will put a not here. So then fine, hope this works. Now I'll just copy this, paste it here, check email. Not correct or not, because you will check, go and check his email, so not correct. So this is what I will be getting it. Now let me save this. Now everything, hopefully all the required validations are done. Now let me sign, just click the sign up. I should check email address, not correct because it is there. So now let me enter a email, sample@example. Fine, I am not giving any dot anything. Now name I am not validated, so let me just put it. Now check email address, it is not correct, retry. Now here I will say .com. Now yeah, it is now that email error is not there because it agreed that it is a valid email. Now other things I will put it. So user ID, now ABCD, that's all. I am giving ABCD. Now password is, now say ABCD123. Now I will put it ABCD1234. Intentionally I have given a wrong one. Name there is no validation, you can add that, my name here. Fine, now let me just, everything else is correct, so sign up. Both passwords are not matching, retry. Now I will give all things correct, ABCD123, ABCD123. Fine, now everything I have given, ABCD123 both. So now I should get a, yeah, process started, validation passed. So now in this process we'll add, so the data validation is cleared, so we can push the data to the MySQL database. There are few more validations we are not covered intentionally because we are not connected to the database. Suppose you have entered a user ID and that user ID is already available, that you can check it only one by going, it is a one more validation but it requires database connection again. So that time you will check whether the user ID is available or not, and then tell the validation that in that case also validation will fail, and you have to tell, look, you have to change your user ID. So this is how the work. In the part 2 we'll integrate it into a database, so we can push this sign up form in data to a database and validate the user ID whether it is available or not. Then we can trigger the email also, we'll see in the part 2.